This is a guide for installing the Foxtrick browser extension on the Chrome browser. There are going to be two parts to this video. Part 1, installing Foxtrick. That's when you are installing Foxtrick for the first time, or if you are moving over from the old Foxtrick beta, version 0.17.9. Part 2, updating Foxtrick, is for when you already have the new Foxtrick installed and you have been notified that there's an updated version and you want to move to that. So if that's what you're doing, skip forward to part 2 of this video. Okay, so part 1, installing Foxtrick. The first thing we have to do is go to the new Foxtrick website. This is the URL that you want. Not foxtrick.org, ignore anything that you see there. This is the URL. So I'm going to go into Chrome. And I have a bookmark for the new Foxtrick website here, so we'll just click on that. I'm going to scroll down to the Chrome section, installing Foxtrick for Chrome. Let's click on that link. Okay, so I realize this is a lot, but we're going to take it one step at a time, okay? So step 1, export and save your current Foxtrick settings, if possible. So I'm just going to go into my extension manager here. You can see that I do have old Foxtrick still installed, Foxtrick Beta, but it is disabled and I'm not able to enable it. So we're just going to ignore step 1, okay? And we're going to move on to the next step. So step 2, download the Foxtrick for Chrome zip file. So let's click on this link, wait for it to download. Okay, now I'm going to open Explorer. I'm going to go into my downloads folder, and there it is. Let's move on to the next step. So, step 3, in a suitable location, make a folder to store the extension in and extract the downloads, the contents of the downloaded zip file there. Okay, so in Explorer, and this is my computer, my documents folder, and I've already made a folder called Foxtrick in here. So let's go back to downloads, and I'm going to copy this zip file. I'm going to go back, and I will paste it in here. The next thing we have to do is extract the contents of this zip file. So let's right click, and I'm going to do extract all. This is fine. Let's just click extract. This takes a little while on my computer. By the way, if you use the 7-zip program to extract your zip files, it's a lot quicker. Okay, so let's have a little look inside this folder. This is what you should see. These 3 files, manifest.json, and some folders here, just like that. I'm going to go back here to the Foxtrick folder that I made, click on this, and we don't need that now, so I will delete it. Alright, on to the next step. In Chrome, we're in Chrome, paste the following into the URL field. So let's highlight that, copy it. I'm going to make a new tab for this, and let's paste that in. Okay, we've done that. Next step, make sure the top option is enabled. Okay, well that refers to this page here, and this is what I mean by the top option. So where it says default, we need to change that to say enabled. And we need to click on this relaunch button once we're done. So let's do that. Okay, so we can close this. Let's proceed. Open Manage Extensions in Chrome and disable current version of Foxtrick if you have one installed. So you can go to Manage Extensions here, and you can also type Chrome colon / and then manage extensions rather. Just click there. It's the same thing. So I do have an old version of Foxtrick installed, but as we said earlier, it's already disabled. So we don't need to worry about that. Let's go back. Next step, turn on developer mode by clicking the toggle at the top right. Okay, so this is talking about Extension Manager. Up here, top right, developer mode. That needs to be on. Okay, click Load Unpacked at the top left and select the folder where you extracted the zip file contents. So let's do that. Load Unpacked is here, so let's click on that. Okay, so it's already opened in the folder that we made earlier, but let's assume that it didn't. So we're going to go to the location where we extracted the zip file. So that would be Documents for me, and then Foxtrick. This is the folder here that we need. So I'm going to highlight that and then click here, Select Folder. Oop, there we are, and Foxtrick has appeared. Now you're going to see this errors thing here. Don't worry about it. Let's go back to the instructions. The extension should now be installed. Import your Foxtrick settings. Well, we've already determined that we're not going to do that. So we are done with the install. So let's go to Hattrick and see if it worked. I have a link here for Hattrick. No, thank you. Let's log in. And there we are. This is what you should see. This pop up on the screen with the version number for Foxtrick. So we can click close. That is the extension installed now. You'll need to authorize, just like normal with CHPP. We can click on the Foxtrick options up here. This bit here where it says there are options activated which need additional permissions. We can click Save on that, Allow, and that is it. One final note that I need to cover. If we go back to the folder where we installed Foxtrick, this folder here, do not delete this. It's very important. This is not like a normal installer. You have to keep this folder. If you delete this, Foxtrick will stop working or disappear completely from Chrome. So hang on to this, you are going to need it, especially if you are updating to a new version, which we're going to cover in part 2. Okay, part 2, updating Foxtrick. This is when we have the new Foxtrick installed and there is an updated version of it available. Currently, as it stands, Foxtrick on Chrome will not automatically update itself. That's something we're working on, but that's the way it is at the moment. We are currently on version 0.18.5, and I happen to know, it just so happens that version 0.18.6 has just been released. So let's go through the update process. I'm going to go into Chrome. Let's open a new tab, and we will go to the Foxtrick website. Scroll down to the Chrome section. And the link we want is down here, Updating Foxtrick for Chrome. So let's click on that, see what it says. Alright, step 1. Download the Foxtrig for Chrome web zip file. So let's click on that. Okay, let's go into Explorer. I'm going to go into my Downloads folder. There it is. Step 2, extract the contents of the zip file into the folder where you previously installed Foxtrig, overwriting the old install. So, in Explorer, let's copy the zip file that we just downloaded. Now I'm going to go back. This is the location that I created, the folder that I created when I did the initial install of Foxtrig. So in my case, it was in my documents folder. I made a folder called Foxtrig. We unzipped the zip file and it made this folder here. This is the folder that we need. So we're going to go into this folder and I will paste the zip file that we just downloaded. So we need to extract the contents of this zip file and we want it to overwrite what is here already. So I'm going to right click, select extract all. Now if I look here, let me do that, I can see that it's going to create a subfolder called 0.18.6. We don't want that. Let me just get rid of that. Like so. That's what we want. So let's click extract. Again, on my computer, it's going to be very slow, so we just have to be patient. But in a moment, it's going to ask me if I want to overwrite the files that are already here. So let's wait for that. There we are. We're going to click here. We want to replace the pre-existing files. And then we wait. Again, if you use 7-zip for this, it's really fast. At least it is on my computer. Alright, there we go. So everything still looks the same. The zip file that we downloaded, we can get rid of that now. Okay, let's go back to Chrome. Step 3, open Manage Extensions in Chrome and click on the reload icon. So I'm going to use the little icon up here, Manage Extensions. Now the reload icon that we're talking about is this little curly arrow here. So we click on that. You might notice that the name of the extension updated just there from 0.18.5 to 0.18.6. If you were already logged into Hattrick, refresh the page. Well, we were. So let's refresh and see what happens. There we are. That's exactly what we want to see. This little pop-up message here with the new version number for Foxtrig. You can click on close and that is us done. All your settings that you had before will have carried over. You don't have to reauthorize. Everything should be exactly the same. You're just on the new version and the process is complete.